Hi everyone, this is LeetCode problem number 16, 3 sum closest. So again we are given an integer array of length n and then we are given a target. Let me just write target is equals to 1 over here. Now this is exactly like the previous problem except that instead of returning the triplets we would be returning the sum, right? So we can be storing the closest sum if we can iterate for each and every triplets and we could store our closest sum like this. Now again the brute force approach would be to check all the triplets, check all the triplets available and then return the closest sum. The problem with that again would be that the time complexity would be O of n cube. So what we had done in last problem is that we sorted the array and then we fixed an I. Wait, let me first sort the array. It will be this. Let me write indices so that it's easy for me during the dry run. Okay, yeah. So now that I have sorted the array, I'll fix my I and I'll perform 2 pointers and see which of my sum gets closest to the target. So let's say my I is equals to 0, my left is equals to 1, my right is equals to 3, my triplet at this point would be -4, -1 and 2. Their sum is nothing but -3. Okay, now the sum minus target would be nothing but 4. We are taking the absolute, right? Because like be it on the negative side or the positive side, it would not matter. We just need the one which is closest to it. Okay, so like obviously the first one the first closest sum would be this, and if we are finding anything in better, we'll update our closest sum. Again, since I will be moving my left to 2, my left comes here, again like since my sum was less than the target, like my sum was -3, right, and it is lesser than the target, that is why I'm moving my left and not right. So my left becomes 2, my right is 3, and the triplet that I have in hand is -4, 1 and 2. The sum is nothing but -1. The difference between them is 2. So now since we see the difference of this is smaller than this one, so my closest sum right now would be -1. Now so again we can stop here because again the left and right would become same. This will let us that will result in the loop stopping. So now I'll move my I to here. My I is 1, my left again would be 2, my right would be 3. The triplet that I will have in hand would be -1, 1 and 2. The sum of this is nothing but 2 again, -1 will get cancelled. The difference is 1. And again we see the difference of this. The 1 is smaller than both of the above numbers that we had. So the closest sum that we could return is 2. And again if I move left or right, they will be pointing to the same thing. It would not make sense. I cannot move I because again the left and right would be like same, which does not make sense. So the best answer for this is nothing but 2, and we will return 2 over here. That is our best answer. Yeah, let's code it so that we can understand it better. Okay, so first we'll sort the array. Short nums dot begin. comma nums.end. Okay, so once we have sorted the array, we know we'll take the size as n. Thus we have taken the size over here, and first closest sum will keep of the first three integer values that we have. So let's say my initial closest sum is nothing but nums of 0 plus nums of 1 plus nums of 2. Okay, again, like we had done in the last problem, we'll iterate through the array. N is equals to 0, I is less than n minus 2, because it would not make sense to, like, we'll exceed the array bounds, right, if we don't have n minus 2. And once we are in it, we are gonna initialize my left is equals to I plus 1 and right equals to n minus 1. Okay, now the same thing, we are gonna iterate through it till my left and right pointer overcrosses each other. We are gonna initialize the sum as nums of I plus nums of left plus nums of right. Okay, once we have this, if the target that I have, if the absolute of my target minus sum is less than the absolute of my target minus closest sum, then I can assign my closest sum to this, right? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say closest sum equals to this current sum that we have. Okay, now that's the case. Now if my sum is less than the target, what I'm gonna do left plus plus, else if it is greater than target, I'm gonna do right minus minus. Oopsie. Else I'm just gonna return the target. Return target. Okay, that means that my sum is exactly equals to the target, and that would be the exact match. So I am just going to return the target, and here I will return the closest sum. Okay, now let's see it. Okay, it's taking long to compile. Okay, yeah, but it ran successfully. Let's try submitting it. Okay, great. So the solution is accepted. Thank you everyone for watching.